Hello. Man, I don't know if I say this all the time. Maybe it's because it's the first entry, but that took about 20 seconds to start for the clock to start ticking. Anyway, today is the 14th of May 2023. And I've just gone by the olive trees and the little shepherd's house on my way to the Connemara. And on my right, I'm admiring all the poppies that have just seem to have appeared in the field here. The one field not full of lavender. Today's Sunday. Might as well give you the time. Hang on a minute. The time is 20 minutes to 2. This is the first entry on this device. I'm taking it with me because I want to download my latest Michel Thomas CD, because there's no students on this latest CD I got, and you really need to pause. And I thought if you wanted to pause, you can't find a better device than this to pause, because you can just keep hitting the button here with your thumb. Otherwise, what else is new? I've got an Insta360 camera. That's its first mention in these audio files, I'm sure. There's a beautiful sky at the moment. There's lots of kind of majestic blue clouds all over the place, but still the sun is coming through. There's enough blue, but lots and lots of clouds. Yeah, so I'm bringing my Insta camera to the Connemara. Excuse me. I'm very happy with it. It's proved, I have it about a week, and it's been a great success. Very easy to use. And also, when you get the hang of it, it's really easy to upload things to YouTube or Facebook. There is some other platforms, but to be honest, once you can get stuff to YouTube, it's fine, you know, that's something. And then you can do lots of other things with the 360-degree videos, make them into normal videos and upload them to TikTok. So yeah, it's been a real success so far. I've really enjoyed just taking stuff. I also got, which I didn't expect, but I thought might as well, I got the Oculus Go to look back over the 360 videos in a VR style, and that's been great as well. Not disappointed. It's the third time I brought a 360 device on it, and sometimes it fucking hell. Sometimes it's worthwhile to spend a little extra and go for the one that is reputably the top of the market at the moment. That's why I went for this one. Everybody said it's the best. What else? The news of the moment, May the 14th. First of all, this time last year, I was in a completely different state. I believe I'd got the news and we were kind of, I don't know the exact dates, but I may well have been just about to have the operation on my eye in Nice, because it was the last week or 2 weeks in June that I went to the place that I can never remember the name of to have the treatment. And 2 weeks before that, I had the operation, so it would have been around probably the end of May, something. That was a year ago. Anyway, so at the moment, what news is there? Well, let's just fly through the crypto first. Bitcoin is 26,500. It was kind of getting up to 30 and actually above 30 for a while, and we were thinking, maybe it's gonna start kicking off again, but no. Ethereum 1,800 and ADA about 36 cents. ADA was 40. It's I honestly don't pay much attention to it anymore because it is the same thing week in, month in. It really is. It's just no change. There isn't as much interest. In fact, there isn't really any interest. I think that's why it's nothing happening. All the people that have it, like me, and bought at a loss, we're just hanging on to what we have, hoping that at some point we can get our money back. And I think perhaps that's something to do with why everything is so static. You've just got to all the guys like me, and we're all just, none of us have any intention of selling, and so the price is just kind of stuck at that point. I won't go near it. I'll just leave it. What else? Flo is going to see her parents at the lake, the Serpent Son. Today she's going for one, just to stay overnight in a hotel. I'm on my way to the Connemara. I've slept well last night, and I feel inspired to do a couple of more videos in the Connemara. Also, I want to download some Michelle Thomas to this device. I think I said that already, didn't I? And Flo did lots of shopping this morning, so I want to try and build up an appetite because the fridge is full of food. Otherwise, on the Connemara front, I wonder how many entries have there been in audio form about potential buyers over the years. Well, at the moment we have a girl called Tiffany, who for all the world seems to have got her mortgage from the bank. For all the world seems completely motivated. But then Charlotte and Alan seemed exactly the same way a few months ago, and they pulled out. So it's one of those things you just nothing is a certainty. And the problem with it as well is that we've got Patrice, who we more or less have a verbal agreement with him, and he thinks he's buying the place, but we don't really know because he hasn't really spoke to us in a month. And Flo is convinced he's actually in the middle of trying to sort out a deal with the Flambé or something, and he's just keeping us strung along as a backup plan. And it's true. If we say nothing, you could have a situation where you literally could get to Christmas without any contact with him, And it is true that he may then at some point say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I've got something else, or I can't, there's a problem with the money," or whatever. He's not dependable. And yet at the same time, I feel a little uneasy about the fact that Flo wants to go with this girl, and she literally wants to sign everything. She wants to finish the whole selling transaction, and then tell Patrick. I think it might be better to tell him just before, perhaps. And when he does come back with all his, at this point you'd have to kind of call bullshit about he'll pay more and he's definitely gonna buy it and he'll buy it next week. You just say, I'm sorry, we don't really, be honest with him, we don't trust you. So that's the Connemara. I really don't have any, I do have some apprehensions about what I'm going to do afterward, but I have to say I really want to sell, because if we don't this time, I don't know how Flo's going to react. And I keep saying as well that it is quite possible that if we don't sell, we're both going to just walk away. So if there is some chance to get 45 or so thousand, I would feel very happy that we managed to get that, because there may not be lots of opportunities, and it's a lot of money. And so I'm very up for selling. I'm in no way thinking, well, I don't mind if we don't sell. I'm not really in that state of mind anymore. I'm kind of with Flo. I'll be very disappointed if this falls through. I want to sell, and then we deal with me. I deal with myself after. But I really want to be with Flo when the moment comes when it's all done, and we have to deal with Patrick as well, I suppose. And like I say, I'm a bit apprehensive about that, but I just want to see Flo when all the ties that bind her to this business are cut. I want that to happen for her. When there's no more fixing this or that, there's no more calling plumbers, there's no more dealing with the Merry or dealing with wholesalers, there's no more having to organize bookings when people call her on her mobile. There's just so many things that I can't even think of now that will be just cut away from her, and she'd be left just to concentrate fully on her yoga. And I think it's going to be a wonderful moment for her, and likewise for me, because I'll be happy for her. If things go according to plan, we should actually know in a few weeks, because Flo wants to get the thing signed even before the official word comes from the bank for Tiffany. So she'd like to sign the thing in about 2 weeks, I think. This time of the year is really beautiful. Everything is so green. In fact, I'm going to take a picture. Let's take a picture of this very green crop in front of me. Let's do a little bit portrait, no photo. Just a photo. Is the lens clean? Hey, that's lucky. I have the thing to clean my Insta360, so I'm cleaning the lens of my camera. Okay. Voila. Okay, yeah, so so that's the news from the Connemara. Certain deja vu with it, I know. I'm not really playing games from Steam or anything at the moment. I've had a bit of a break. I got kind of an Anno game running, but it's been a few months. Right now it's all about this 360 degree camera. What else? What else? I watched a movie on my phone over the last couple of days in bed. Brad Pitt movie. Ad Avesta. It means to the stars. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Turned out to be a very long, boring movie that went nowhere, but I couldn't help but think, like all us guys that were adolescents in the 80s, that don't take anything for granted in terms of technology, how incredible it is to be able to lie in your bed with your headphones plugged in and be totally immersed in a movie on this little screen in front of you, with a really good quality image, really good quality image and really good sound in the headphones. And this thing it's coming into your device through the internet. I just thought it's not something you could have envisaged back in the 80s. Maybe some clever person somewhere or other, some time or other, thought it would be possible to do such a thing and maybe mentioned it, but for the most part I don't think anybody predicted such a thing. The phone has kind of taken over from the laptop for me. Because I played chess and I watched Daniel Larson, and I'm now into TikTok. And so instead of going to the computer room and sitting with the laptop like I used to for 2 hours, I just go to bed and I have the headphones and everything. I eat some Tic Tac. I watch TikTok, and I fall asleep stop at about 2. 18 minutes. I don't know if there's much more to say, really. In terms of more news, I'm going to Malaga in September. I'm staying with Martina, my mother, and John. Booked the flight. The manner in which I got the Insta360 camera, I'm quite proud of. I managed to find on my phone, I went to check the Apple shop in X, and the Apple shop said it had a copy of the Insta camera I was looking for. But just to be sure, I called up, and although it took 3 or 4 efforts, I managed to speak to someone, reserved the camera, and then with my phone again I booked a ticket in and back from X on the train. And I managed to, because when I got up that morning I hadn't even ordered the camera, and I was thinking, where am I going to order it and how long is it going to take to arrive, all of these things. But somehow I managed to be, when I woke up in the morning, I wouldn't have thought that by the end of that day I'd actually be using the camera. So that was something. And yeah, Flo's parents seem to be doing as well as can be expected. Her mum has showed that the chemotherapy has been effective. And yeah, I guess the next big thing for us will be the Connemara if it goes to plan. Anyway, what can I say about this pocket of time? I know most of these audio things are kind of the same, and they're actually, I guess, a bit boring. I'm hoping one day maybe they won't be. If I live to be very old, I don't know. Maybe they'll gain in some kind of importance or nostalgia. I do love this device though, the Philips voice recorder. I'm walking now. I've just gone through the housing estate. I'm going up the hill where I'll get to the path that leads onward to Orizon. And from there I'm quite motivated to do a few things. Get myself up to date with files and things that are lying around in my MSI laptop. And I think with that, I will say to you, future Eddie, wherever you might be, whatever you're doing, and whether it's, well, hopefully it'll be AC after Connemara, and maybe that's why these recordings, once the Connemara is finished, will become a little more nostalgic. But whatever you're doing, whatever Flo's doing, all the best. All the best to you both.